We know that a teacher from a local school managed to rescue a bunch of kids and lead them to a nearby building, where they're relatively safe. We could really use whatever they have. We could really use it, right? That was probably just a warning shot. Survival is the name of the game, and I'm perfectly willing to sacrifice absolutely anything to accomplish this. The full atomic experience. Ironically, we're going with Fat Man and Ted. The beginning is probably the most important part of everything. We're gonna start at the far end of the house and work our way back, starting with one little thing of water. And maybe little Timmy over there. It's always good to have a ginger in case you need to sacrifice something. Go ahead and pick it up. The clunky controls really make this a little bit more fun. Alright, don't know why, but we're taking you. Family members are helpful though. You can send them out to gather you stuff right away, and when they come back, you just wait for them to die. It's basically free resources. Not sure what the briefcase does. 3 whole spots. And, well, you know what? That's alright. We'll probably find lots of food right here anyway. Moving right along. Where's our wife? Yep, she's gonna be a good gatherer. The older ones are always smarter. The younger ones are stupid, but at least they're strong. Pretty good so far. I think we just need a little bit more food and water. Hopefully there's some of that not too far away. You do tend to find a lot of it along the way anyway, but you do want to start out with lots, just in case. Awkward timing. Grab that and go. Grab it and go. Get in the hole. Did that... Yeah, there we go. Was that a good start? I have no idea. We look pretty well stocked, with food and water, not a lot of the other things. All of us made it into the shelter just a second before the blast. When we opened the shelter door, we noticed something on the shelves already. A harmonica? That's going to be useful for so many things, and bullets. If only we had a gun. Maybe if I'm lucky and get the kids to hit them with rocks for some entertainment. 1 minute it was all fine, and the next we're at each other's throats. How did this happen? You've been in here for 1 day. It's been 2 days, and Timmy's already annoying the hell out of me. First chance we get, he's going out. Definitely not feeding anyone this early on. If there's one sure thing to get our attention, it's definitely banging on our shelter door. Whoever it is, they're quite persistent. They've been at it for the past 5 minutes. Should we open? Absolutely. I'm a yes man. Well, Ted's not looking so hot. Opening that hatch was a bit risky. It seems it gave us some awful sickness. Us? I only see 1 sick person. It's way earlier than I wanted to be sacrificing a first aid kit, but we'll probably find another one. You gotta be optimistic. Timmy, you're going outside and you're going to take... nothing. You'll be fine on your own. No one would possibly want to do anything to that poor child. They wouldn't want to take him, they wouldn't want to hurt him, they just kind of let him do his thing. Timmy went out to the wasteland. We don't know what he'll do if he doesn't come back. We'll enjoy the extra rations for an even longer amount of time. Day 4, first sacrifice, a little bit of water. Hear that? No, because no one is talking. Sounds good to me. Don't have a radio anyway. You know little about what's going on outside. It'd be very good to find more. If only we had that radio we keep mentioning. If Timmy doesn't come back with a radio, I am going to find a way to kill him with a harmonica. Yesterday during charades, we learned that Mary Jane doesn't know how to spell anti-disestablishmentarianism, and it left Dolores sorely disappointed. It's Ted's job to leave her disappointed, but great. He insists on home, or rather shelter schooling Mary Jane a little. Mary Jane, can you spell disappointment? I'll give you a hint. There's one in the shelter with us. Look who's back, and just in time. I'm not seeing a lot of extra resources here. Oh wait, a radio. Timmy did it. Now we don't have to kill him with the harmonica. Dolores does not mess around. What started out as a spelling exercise has done some stuff. We got a medkit. We were so afraid for Timmy. Don't put words in my mouth. Medkit. And they really wanted to sell us a radio. They claimed it was evil and whispers about the return of the Dark Lord. We gave them a bottle cap. Great strategy, whoever that was. We could use some extra supplies. The last time we went on a supply run, we noticed a damaged tank stuck in a rubble nearby. How about someone investigate? Timmy, do us proud. The little ginger that could. The last thing we expected was a giant explosion. We may have just sacrificed Timmy. We could hear the debris falling from the sky and hitting the sad remains of our house. The tank must have been booby-trapped or contained volatile explosives. Why did we do it? Why? That could have been anything or anyone. We don't know that. Good news. Look what I can do. This is why you don't want me anywhere near a bomb shelter. And apparently everyone's starving today, so we're giving up our food. Something's missing. Let's see. Fan hum, check. Strange noises in our pipes, check. Hellish yells outside, check. Oh, Dolores hasn't spoken for a while now. That's it, and it's really strange. Talking to her would be a good idea. Yeah, says you. I like her better not talking. See, no one's even dead this morning. It seems that Dolores fought with her thoughts on her own, and it's much more cheerful today. See, problems fix themselves. I always tell people that. Nobody listens. Looks like we got us a candidate though. Wasteland is no match for Mary Jane. I like the enthusiasm. Timmy had comics about those. You know they must exist. All we need to do is make contact with the military. Sure, gotta put the radio to use. It sounds important because you bring it up every 30 seconds. We knew it. The government has not fallen, and they're coming to save us. They didn't give exact dates in their radio transmission, but we're sure they won't keep us waiting long. And I certainly hope not. Our soup isn't gonna last forever. It's about time we chose someone to scavenge the remains of our town in search of supplies. Idiot stick, it's all on you now. You're going to go armed with a handful of bullets, since we don't have a gun anyway. And if you get in trouble, just start eating them. Not sure what that's gonna do, but it would be amusing. Mary Jane went outside. Let's hope she hurries back. If she doesn't find anything, she better not hurry back at all. Sometimes a sudden urge to play an instrument takes over us, to create beautiful sounds to be shared with the world around us, to sing and play, to have cute mutated animals come to our feet. Listen like a post-apocalyptic Snow White. Shall we? Yeah, why not? Can't see the harm in this. Unless we attract some of the wrong kind of animals, like a large cockroach. A mutant cockroach. Be careful what you wish for. After a few minutes of playing, a small group of mutated cockroaches jumped out of the cracks in our walls and started moving to the rhythm of the song. Well, that's neat, but probably counterproductive. The funky cockroaches haven't really left us. To be fair, they aren't really causing that much trouble. They even seem relatively friendly and curious. Just this morning, when we opened our eyes, we saw them standing in a perfect line right in front of us as if they're waiting for something. We need Thud back so she can crush them beneath her feet. If you can't beat them, join them. We figured roaches are craving more of our music, so we fulfilled their unspoken request. They started joyfully prancing around again. All of a sudden, they left in a line. We thought the show was over, but they soon came back in a group carrying supplies. One soup, one water. I'll take it. What's that sound? Something or someone is below us. It's only reasonable to go and check it out. How about using that manhole in the corner? If we had a manhole in the corner, we should have been using it this entire time. We don't really have anything, so hopefully whoever is going to go do it doesn't die. Nice beard. If you want to change your expression at any point, feel free. Enough of this plain, tasteless water. Dolores is really craving a cup of coffee. Absolutely, Dolores. I'm not even going to read anymore. Go get your coffee. Oh, she survived. Did she bring back coffee? Our volunteer came back empty-handed. Apparently, the diner is now just a sad hole in the ground with some seats lying around. After a nuclear explosion, who'd have thought? Look who's back, looking better than ever. Nothing made us happier than the sight of Mary Jane returning to the shelter from the surface. Nope, that depends on what she brought back. That ammunition we took with us, don't have it anymore. We believe that our expedition to the wasteland might have been followed by strangers. We spotted some sort of vehicle down the street, couldn't get a good look at it. Maybe future expeditions will prove more fruitful. Yeah, because that worked out so well for Timmy, who got exploded on impact. Head's going a little crazy. Dolores is fine. Mary Jane is hungry, sick, tired, fatigued. Good for her. But Dolores is confident she will survive outside. That's the spirit. It's about time we chose someone to scavenge the remains of our town in search of supplies. Well, since you were so confident, out you go, and you're gonna bring with you about nothing. I'm not willing to sacrifice any items. Should you die, I don't want those items to die with you. Well, things look like they're going well here. It's been 20 days and things are just an absolute train wreck. I'm gonna make a decision right now. Since Ted is crazy, I'm gonna fix the sickness that Mary Jane has. I can't have both of them do something weird right now. We received another transmission from the army. They'll be doing a quick sweep of the area, ask survivors to leave markings at the nearest bus stop to indicate they're around. The markings are to be made with cards. Nothing else, just cards. Not a message, write it in Sharpie, leave a note. I don't have any cards. We could draw cards on the ground. That might be a pretty good indication. Damn it, we missed our chance to let the military know where we are. There's a good bet they'll be back around again. Yeah, whatever you say. We thought phone calls were a thing of the past after the atomic bomb obliterated everything in our little town. Yeah, the phone's ringing. Yeah, you go do the thing. I sacrificed a med kit for you, so you better earn it. When we answered the phone, we could clearly hear a gasp of relief. They introduced themselves as survivors from a nearby town. Started exchanging information when the call was cut short. We hope they'll get back to us. Hopefully they bring us stuff. Remember that time Mary Jane went out to scavenge supplies? Not really. When she got back, she had a wound on her forearm. Nothing serious, she claimed, but it looked like something had bitten her. Now that injury is looking much worse. We just used a med kit on her. Why didn't she bring that up at that point? Someone's knocking at the door. Mary Jane will be fine. It's not the first time and it won't be the last time she's sick. She's looking a bit pale. She looks like a lot of things. A sleazy looking trader carrying an equally scruffy bag on his shoulder paid us a visit. He offered us a simple one-time deal. For 1 can of soup, we get the bag, all of its contents. We can't see what's inside. The trader gives us angry glances every time we take a step towards a mysterious bag. Should we make a deal? Yep, I'm a gambler. Take my soup. Was that a cat? Meowing? Oh good, we have something else to feed now. Great choice. But if the glass were half full, we do have something more to eat now too. As soon as the door closed behind the trader, the bag started to violently shake, emitting screeching hellish sounds. Terrified, we backed up against the walls. Turned out to be an angry house cat. The feline gave us a menacing look and promptly sat down in the corner. Its collar says Shari Kov. Is that a name? I don't care. Ted's not looking so good. The cat moved though. The world has ended. Who cares about showering? Exactly. We can get used to it. Adapting shouldn't be hard. But we can't have Ted being sick. That's me. We were about to go to sleep when we heard scratching from the door. At first it sounded like an angry rat. We soon discovered it was something much worse. Something is at the other side of the door trying to pry it open. Good thing I've got so many items to protect myself with. Can I throw the child at it? Or the cat? Whatever's gonna distract it long enough. Oh, was it Dolores? Great. We couldn't hold the attackers off and they stormed the shelter. They had enough mercy to let us live, but they had no second thoughts about robbing us and taking everything we had. Good news, Dolores. We just lost literally everything. Hopefully you came back with something, no? We spotted an untouched store with many products inside, even different than tomato soup. A real treat in these post-apocalyptic times. When we were about to reach it, a terrible noise made us stop in our tracks. Great. Something heavy fell straight from the sky, crashing into the store. After the dust settled, we realized we were looking at a spaceship, just like Timmy's comics. Could it be Saucer Men? Then why does it bear the American flag on the side and logo of something called Astro Citizen? Under a bag of metal space junk, we found soup and water, our few supplies, and a flashlight. Boy, we're going places now. At least no one is immediately starving. There are 2 cans of soup and 2 cans of water taking us places. Dad, you better not be lying to me, because you gotta go out and find something, otherwise we're doomed. See? Everything's good again. Enough sitting around, time to visit the surface. Ted, get out there. What do we got to work with? Nothing. While trying to pet the little devil, we found a piece of paper on its collar with an address scribbled on it. Previous owners? Chances are slim. Maybe we should pay them a visit. Yeah, whatever. Let's do it. Any excuse to get rid of that cat, I'll take. I don't want to have to feed it. Oh, it's gone. Perfect. We reached the end of our street. We were stopped by 2 men wearing dark coats and stylish hats. They rushed toward the cat to pick him up, saying they'd be looking for him. Shari Kov belonged to an old lady who's rather fond and missed it. Oh my, that thing is huge. There goes another one. Roaches? Did we already take care of those? When we opened the shelter door today, we saw a letter on the ground. It was a cry for help from a group of friendly survivors nearby. That's what they claim. Asking for supplies to be set at a location. They're giving us the word they will not regret it. I guess so. We don't have a lot of soup left. In hindsight, that was probably a poor decision. The authors of the note turned out to be twin siblings, a brother and sister. They greeted us, took us to a small tent. They started handing supplies. Oh, to a group of hungry survivors. You know who's also hungry survivors? Us, and we just gave them a lot of our limited supplies. During our last expedition, we ran into a smelly man in torn up clothes. We recognized him as old bum named Jim. He used to roam the streets of our town. Now he roams a wasteland. Looks like he followed us home. He's banging on the door, asking if we want to buy a rock. Yeah, we do. He made it back, and somehow so did the cat. Did you bring the cat back? Because we just got rid of that. We opened the door and greeted the old man with a smile. He was eager to show us his bag filled with rocks. Got one for free for old time's sake. We chose the best looking rock and he left. He claimed it brings good luck, and I kinda need some now because this is not gonna last much longer. Ted is returned. He brought us 1 water and 1 axe. Now Ted is fatigued, hungry, hurt, tired, and sick. And with limited supplies, you better believe Mary Jane is gonna be the first sacrifice. And this might work out good, because she'll be out of the way, not eating stuff, or she'll come back with stuff. If Shari Kov considers our shelter its home now, we might as well try to get along. Try to carry it around and pet it on the head? Yeah, I mean, got nothing to lose at this point. We actually rubbed its head before it ran away in a panic. It was nice and soft. They say petting a fluffy animal is good for you, and sure enough, we feel better. Oh, great. Ted is still sick. Is he still crazy? We got soup. It actually isn't crazy anymore. He's very hungry though. Luckily we did find that soup. You're going outside. You're gonna take with you nothing. I do not want to sacrifice any of my items. Mary Jane went outside. Let's hope she hurries back soon. Well, not too quickly. During our last expedition, we finally approached that nearby vehicle. It was a tank, missing wheels and a few other crucial components. The outside was rusty and a little burnt up. If we hope to ever drive away from here, we should scavenge something to reinforce it. I'm going to bring the flashlight because I feel like the axe might be needed to try and repel the next group of invaders who takes all of our stuff. Armed with the flashlight, we braved the darkness of almost intact basement a few houses down the street. There were a lot of cobwebs, impressive collection of barbecues. We grabbed some grills to install, sure. We lost a flashlight, but I think we probably gained something we might need. We could really use some more supplies. We counted all of them today and the numbers did not make us happy. Time to do something about it. We know that a teacher from the local school managed to rescue a bunch of kids and lead them to a nearby building where they're relatively safe. We could really use whatever they have. We could really use it, right? Doesn't matter. It's going to be easy to take stuff from a teacher and children. That was probably just a warning shot. As in, you warn the rest of the class by shooting one of the kids. And then we get all of our soup. It's perfect. We are now richer in some supplies, but for some reason we don't feel very good about it. Let's just never mention this whole thing again. I only heard 1 gunshot. It could have only been so bad. Apparently Ted is also in agony now. Well, I'll tell you what, as soon as we find something to fix you up with, we will. We learned a valuable lesson recently. If you don't do anything about roaches in your home, you'll end up with more roaches. That's not ideal. Well, you know what? Apparently our axe isn't good enough for dealing with roaches, so that's that. Mutated cockroaches. Say hello to our little friend, Shari Kov. We were worried about the nasty bugs popping up in the corners, but our cat put an end to them. So he does have a use. The cat wanted some recognition for its hard work, dropping dead bugs in our soup. Well, whatever, as long as the bugs are dead, I don't really care how it happened. There's an armed and dangerous woman outside. Fortunately, she's out of ammo. She tells us that she hunts the wild beasts of the wastes, and right now she's on the trail of a giant mutated spider. She promises if we help her, she will return the favor another day. Yeah, with all the bullets I have. Oh, we should have killed her and taken her stuff. Why is that not an option? I want her gun. You guys are looking well this morning. We got a visit today from a person with a physical mutation. He managed to grow several extra fully operational hands. He shared the story of his group with us. People with other deformities who despite the circumstances remain friendly to struggle and gather supplies. Wherever they go, people just shoo them away in fear of getting sick. He promises that if we gift him some supplies, they'll help us next time the bandits show up. I think I need to make that deal. The bandits already took all of our stuff once. If we still had all the supplies, we would be laughing right now. Have some soup. Tim's not looking so hot this morning. Luckily, Dolores here is going to carry us to victory. Ted's wounds were too serious to leave untreated. They became infected and took Ted's life. One less mouth to feed in the end. Lots of soup, not a ton of water. Just when we thought we might have a quiet day, we got invaded. A group of bandits is on the other side of the door, demanding we walk out hands in the air. Hey, remember that mutant guy we just gave stuff to in the hopes that he would save us? I'm gonna rely on that. I don't want to risk my axe. And we survived to the next day, so that's a start. When we opened the door, we saw a group of heavily armed raiders. Thought we were as good as dead. But our mutant friends kept their word, and all their extra arms provided useful in scaring the bandits away. We thanked them for help and waved goodbye. They waved back with all of their limbs. That was plenty of waving. You know what? If they can grow extra limbs, we should remove those extra limbs and eat those. They could probably keep growing those and we can keep eating them. You know what? Dolores, aside from being a little fatigued, is actually doing really well for day 44. The most curious of visitors today, one of them was making sound of a galloping horse using a pair of rocks, hitting them together against each other, while his companion was pretending to ride said horse. Pretty sure this is supposed to be coconuts. Although we tried to decline politely, the guests were clearly offended. They galloped away. Mary Jane was supposed to be back in a few days. It's been too long. We fear something has happened to her. We don't fear something has happened to her. We know something happened. Her face is X'd out, and I don't miss her. Well, since only Dolores is left, she's not going outside. We're trying our best to remain calm. The situation we're in is far from normal. We might never get used to it. Is that because of the corpse in our bomb shelter, or... The bandit camp nearby is causing a lot of trouble. Not only are they armed, dangerous, cruel, and bloodthirsty, they're also loud and obnoxious. We respect their right to party, but not at the cost of our beauty sleep. Something needs to be done. Ready rescue maneuver here, Dolores. I'm sending you out with an axe. We know we survived. The sound of a gunshot. Did we get some supplies out of the deal? We might have more soup now. We won the battle. These bandits were no match for us. We quickly overpowered them and forced them out of camp. So we just sacrificed our axe, basically to get better sleep. When a single brick fell out from the wall revealing a tight opening, our senses were immediately invaded by a terrible stench. We should probably check that hole out and see what the source of the smell is. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna get any better if we don't. We looked into the hole, fearing something might come at us with claws, fangs, or other mutated and sharp body parts. Nothing happened. We found a dead rat, trying to break into a can of soup. We got the soup. Lots of soup, not a lot of water. Hopefully we can make some kind of trade soon. Judging by the sound of gunfire and screams, seems like a band of thugs is taking control, so no one's going outside. We're gonna hide here. The rock we got from Old Man Jim really was a lucky one. He came back carrying a big bottle full of fresh, cool water. Excellent, that's good. We needed that pretty badly. At breakfast, we heard a knock on our door. It was a man with a rather excessive number of arms. He had told us his group was having a hard time finding supplies. Wherever they go, they get shot at first sight. In exchange for some supplies, his folk would escort us on our next expedition and make sure we come back safely. Perfect! Take some of my soup. I've got lots. Day 50. Way better than I thought I would do. We were relieved when the man assured us that his condition was not contagious. The same way I'll assure him I won't kill him if he has something I want. I'm gonna top Dolores up and I'm gonna send her on an expedition, because we got mutant help anyway. We felt we should do something about our interior decoration. The feng shui is really off in a fallout shelter. While we were moving things around, we found a secret door. Ooh. Secret doors are the best kind of doors. Please have something good. Some things are better left untouched. I guess if we don't have the items, we just can't do anything. We need to make a choice for today's expedition. Dead, 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 happy. She doesn't probably need to bring anything because we got the mutant guides. Why are the days flying by? Is this good or bad? Day 58. But we were being escorted by mutants. Who's this guy? He didn't even get to deliver his mail. When we got back to the shelter, the trapdoor was shut tight and protected by some kind of futuristic contraption that warned us not to approach or we would be terminated. That sounds serious. Someone took over our shelter. We sacrificed school children for those items. That was a pretty good run considering bandits at one point took everything we had. I'm sure Dolores will be just fine out there in the wild.